All right, first semester review. We are going to do odds together, and then you will do evens on your own, okay? Writing the next number you expect in the pattern. So first we have to figure out what the pattern is. So looking at the first two numbers, what's happening between 2 and 4? Adding 2. Let's check if it's adding 2 the whole time. 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Adding 2. 6 to 8. Adding 2. Can we agree that the rule is we're adding 2? Okay. So what would my next number be? 10.
Dang, I thought it was 11.
Okay. Any questions on patterns?
No.
Okay, looking at number 3, we want to name the vertex and sides of each angle. First, we got to understand what those mean. What is vertex? What's the vocab term?
The corner.
Think angle, corner, point, whatever you want to think. Also, make these notes that I'm writing so you can look back at them and look at them. Okay, so what are sides?
DE.
The sides, remember, from the vertex out. Okay, so on 3, vertex is what? E, it's that point, that corner. Okay, sides, want to go from vertex out, what's one of them? What? ED. Always say the vertex first, and then what? EF. So vertex is that angle, corner point, and the sides are from the vertex out.
So we have to list the group.
Question on that section? All right. Coming at the next one, it already gives us the vertex. It tells us the vertex is V. We want to name the two angles that are making up V. So angle 3, what would be a good name for angle 3?
DE or DVE.
Right. Why did you switch your mind?
Because you have the vertex in the middle.
Vertex has to be in the middle. Okay, let's make that note. Vertex in the middle. Just like that side angle side we talked about a couple chapters ago, you have to go in order. Okay. Angle 4, what would that angle name be? FVE. Could I also name those different? Could they be the other way?
Yeah.
Yep. They could also be EVD and EVF, either way. So just remember, vertex has got to be in the middle when you name them. Questions on that section? Remember, if you have questions, now's the time to ask. All right, plotting each point. What order do the points go in? X, Y, or Y, X? X and Y. Which axis is your x-axis? Horizontal. It tells you right here, right? Y is your vertical. Which one do we do first? X. Where do we start?
0.
We start in the middle. Okay, I'm going to start at this point right here. From the middle, if I'm doing I, we have -4, -5. What direction do I go from the middle? Left to the -4. From there, where do I go? Down to -5. And then label. That's my point I. For J, where do I go if I'm starting in the middle? What direction? Right 1 and then down 3. That's J. Remember, don't work ahead. Stay on the odds with me. K, where do I go from the middle? Right 4, up 3.
Anyone wants to connect it?
You don't have to connect them. Just plot points. Any questions on the front page before I move on? All right. Backside here, what can be tricky with number 9? Why do we sometimes get these wrong?
I never did.
Read them wrong.
If we read them wrong, right? If we don't know what we're looking for. So, how do we prevent that? Read them carefully, label, okay? Underline and circle. So we're trying to find measure of angle TSR. It gives us measure of TSP is 60. TSP is right here, right? This is TSP. Put 60 in there. And then it tells us measure of PSR is 100. That's right here.
So it's 169.
Right? So we're looking for, what did we circle? TSR. That's this whole angle. How do I find the whole thing? Add them together. 100 plus 60 equals 160. There you go. So underline and circle. Circle what you're looking for. Underline what you have. And then put those labels in there so you don't make mistakes. Okay? That makes sense? Questions on that one? Am I circling and underlining? Bless you. All right. Next ones. Let's do some vocab quick. Start with acute. What does acute mean? Less than 90. What does obtuse mean? More than 90. What does right mean? 90. What does straight mean? 180. Awesome. Any questions on those 4 vocab terms?
No.
Okay, so when we're looking at these, I would always ask yourself if it's right first. Is 11 right?
No.
How do you know if it's right?
It'll have a square.
It'll have a square symbol in there, okay? Now ask yourself, is it less than or more than 90?
It's
Greater than 90, so what is it? Obtuse. What if it was just a straight line? How many degrees is that? 180. Yep. Questions on vocab? Okay. 13, we want to find the midpoint. Anybody remember what that
Yeah, the axis and the y.
Yep, you're missing one thing though. What did you say?
Divide by 2.
Yeah, there we go. Is that what you're going to say? So, you're going to take x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Everyone write that down. Okay, so let's do number 13. We're following that midpoint formula. If it helps, label your x's and your y's. What are my x's? What are my x values? 3 and 10. So we have 3 plus 10 divided by 2. What are my y values? 9 plus a negative 8. Be careful with those negatives. And then remember to divide by 2. Now let's just simplify. What's 3 plus 10? 13 divided by 2. 9 plus a negative 8. 1 over 2. Now let's just simplify. What's 13 divided by 2? 6.5 and 0.5. Okay. Is it important to have your answer look like this? Yes. Why?
Because x is always before y.
Right, x is always before I, and we want our answer to look like a point. We want it to be a point. Moving down to 15, we're still using that same vocab we were using on 11 and 12, but we got to figure out what the angle measure is. So on 15, what gives it away? 90 degree because of that box, right? So we know that whole thing's 90 degrees. How do we find the missing part?
53. 90 minus 53.
Yep, 90 minus 53 to give us 37. Looking at 17, is there any 90 degree angle box?
No.
No. What do we know about those two angles?
There's a straight.
Straight, what does straight mean? 180, so how do we find the missing part?
180 minus 102.
Yep. Do we remember what that vocab term was called? About two angles together to equal 180?
Linear pair.
Linear pair, yep. Questions on the second page. We're going through 22 today. On 19, we still are working with the right angle or a straight angle. What do we notice about 19? It gives us this angle and this angle. There's x's, okay?
2x equals x plus 24.
Would we say those two angles are equal?
No.
No. What do we know about them? Why do you say that?
There's a straight line.
Straight line. Okay, so how would we set that up?
2x plus x plus 24 equals
Add like terms,
180.
which is x's, so 3x
Yep.
plus 24 equals 180.
Is everyone okay with this step so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So straight line, we know they equal 180, so we're going to add them together to equal 180. And then my next step, Gabe said we're going to combine like terms. We have 2x and x.
So 3x.
So that'd be 3x plus 24 equals 180.
Minus 24 for 180.
Yep.
Which gives you 156.
Yep. Subtract 24. So we get 3x equals 156. Last step would be
Divided by
2.
3 equals 52.
Divide by 3. So we get x equals 52. And then I'm going to look at number 20 next. Okay, last one we're going to look at together, and then you'll be on your own. What do we notice about number 20? Do we know anything about 90 or 180?
Vertical pairs.
How do you know they're equal?
Vertical pairs.
Vertical angles. Vertical angles, they are across each other from the
So
intersections.
this is
So
equal
you,
to-
yep, so you know these are equal to each other. So if you know they're equal to each other, or you say they're the same thing, what do you do?
Set 'em.
Set them equal to each other. Okay, if you know they're equal or you say they're the same, set them equal to each other. How would I solve this?
So
X minus 1 equals 136.
We want to subtract 1. So we have 81 equals 3x. Last step,
divide by 3, x equals 27.
divide by 3, x equals 27. We're going to stop there for today. If you want to make a squiggle so you know to stop. Yes. Yep. So go ahead and go through, finish the ones that we did not do. When you're done, please hand it in. Make sure your name's on it.
Can you help me on number
Okay?